Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled Controlled Opposition, Kwame Brown. Lord will, you are edified. Kwame Brown, drafted in 2001 from high school as the #1 overall pick. As of late, he has exposed the NBA regarding sellouts being in a go-along, get-along game, regarding how the NBA uses so-called black analysts such as Stephen A to target so-called black athletes. Okay, he has exposed Dr. Boyce Watkins, Angela Yee, Charlemagne the God, and DJ Envy as being part of this go-along, get-along game. Okay, he has exposed how the NBA and colleges prevent so-called black athletes from skipping colleges so colleges won't lose money. Okay, and the reason why I state so-called black people, because according to biblical doctrine via the Holy Spirit, all right, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans are Israelites based on the lineage of their fathers. Now this go-along, get-along gang, these are sellouts who do the bidding for so-called white people, all right, people within our nation, okay? It's my assumption that Kwame Brown is controlled opposition, all right? Just an assumption, but based on certain signs and clothes he wears, okay? It's all a pattern. It's all a pattern, okay? And more than likely, he is controlled opposition. So what is controlled opposition? Controlled opposition is when a deliberate attempt is made to either create an opposing effort to any existing power base or to obtain control of any opposition to one's own efforts. Some protest movements are actually being led by government or corporate agents, okay? So in this case, the elite that control the world, okay, use people under them to contact individuals such as Kwame Brown to do their bidding. And it seems like he's actually for the greater good. However, he's bought and paid for as well, based on certain signs he does, okay? Now, this particular evening, I noticed, like, when he was making his points, his statements, he continued to throw this sign, okay? Which is letting other insiders know that he is part of the agenda, okay? Also, certain clothes he wears, as you can see, this is a bunny with two bones crossing. And just last night or yesterday evening, he had a cap on. A bunny, okay, with bones crossing. Nothing is by coincidence, okay? from the hand gesture to the clothing. And that's why it's my belief that he is controlled opposition. The clothing, based on my assumption, is in regards to skull and bones. Okay, as you can see, skull and bones and his clothing. The only difference is a bunny. According to Wikipedia.org, Skull and Bones, also known as the Order 322 or the Brotherhood of Death, is an undergraduate senior secret student society at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. The oldest senior class society at the university, Skull and Bones has become a cultural institution known for its powerful alumni and various conspiracy theories. Okay. So really, Skull and Bones is nothing but a faction of the Illuminati, okay, which has an agenda to attain and pursue, or Salakia, to pursue, okay, the attainment of the New World Order. You have to watch people, all right? Listen to what they say, all right? Always listen, all right? But most importantly, spit out the bones, okay? Watch their hand gestures, their eye movements, their clothing. Okay? Now, this was a quote by, I don't know if that's Morley or Manly Hall, but the quote goes like this: symbolism is the language of the mysteries. By symbols, men have ever sought to communicate to each other those thoughts which transcend the limitations of language. Let me read that again. Symbolism is the language of the mysteries. By symbols, men have ever sought to communicate to each other those thoughts which transcend the limitations of language. And this is a form of communication based on he's down with the agenda. From clothing to his hand gesture and more clothing. One precept, maybe two. Proverbs 6:12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walk with a froward mouth, meaning what? Deceitful. Because at time frames, or in Kwame Brown's case, it seems like he's for the good of society, but at the same time frame, he's bought and paid for. All right. And we have the right to assume, based on his clothing, hand gesture, okay, a naughty person, a wicked man, walk with a froward mouth. He wink with his eyes. You know, and sometimes you see these so-called celebrities, all right, how they have one eye covered, showing their allegiance to the agenda of the New World Order. He winketh with his eyes, he speak with his feet, all right? standing in certain positions to show that they are down with this new world order, that they are Masons, okay? He wink with his eyes, he speak with his feet, he teach with his fingers. Teaching with his fingers. Lord, will you're edified. Shalom.